The affective disorders include what used to be called the manic-depressive and depressive. And some people actually think that everyone has the potential of both ends, that nobody could be just depressive, but most of what we see with serious problems are the depressive end. You see that much more than the manic end. But the main idea is just the tremendous mood swing. The manic end, you're elated, excited, eager, enthusiastic, very active, just go, 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 impulsive, expressive. And the depressive end gets more and more lethargic, more and more just down, miserable, sitting still, thinking, obsessing, weeping, just down. Mostly you can think of the mood swings in terms of the elements. Fire, and it can be encouraged by air, but mostly it's fire at the manic end. And this kid has a lot of that potential if he ever lets that fire out, that manic-y hyperactive stuff. But from what Rachel said, his family's doing it all, so he's doing the holding in part. But the potential is in him, or he wouldn't be in that family. It's very strongly visible in the chart. The other end is the earth and the water, which tend to be security-minded, status quo, and depressive, if they're just holding back and not accomplishing anything. Earth has to be accomplishing tangible results to feel comfortable with itself, and water has to be either being taken care of or taking care of someone. And as long as people are doing those things, then they're not depressive. But if they sit still and stop doing any of those things, then they can get very miserable. And the extreme swings are when they just go back and forth between the two. They're hyper for a while, excited, elated, and a small amount of mania is fun. You know, they're lively and fun and dramatic and amusing. But when it gets extreme, then it really gets jarring and uncomfortable to be around. Depression for most people is just unpleasant. They don't like to be around anybody who's depressed. You know, they drag, they suck, they pull you in with them, and they're just not very nice to be around. The pits, yes. You get too much water and earth going, why it's like wading through a swamp, and it's just really a drag. One of the few examples I ever saw of someone who was really full-fledged manic-depressive, and he was in his, on one occasion, and then when he was in the VA hospital when I was working there, he was in a manic phase. It was a little Catholic priest, and he got off the mental ward. It wasn't a locked ward, and he just wandered off one day, and of course the rest of the hospital treated all kinds of other illnesses, all kinds of physical problems. So he was making the rounds of the rest of the wards and doing what Catholic priests are supposed to do. He was doing his proper job and leaving havoc in his wake. He was giving people extreme unction. Everybody that he, yeah. And the people who knew anything about Catholicism knew that extreme unction meant that they were dying. Doctor, didn't tell me I was dying. So they rounded him up and brought him back to the ward. But mostly what you see is a lot of depression, sometimes fairly low level, just kind of chronic depression, and it is more common in women than in men, because women are more apt to be put in a place where they feel kind of helpless and they can't do very much, and nobody's taking care of them very as well as they would like to be taken care of, and so depression as a complaint is extremely common in psychotherapy. People that come in, I just nothing feels good anymore. Just nothing I can enjoy, and a general feeling of down. And you get out of it by either doing something, earth, that you can accomplish, a sense of accomplishment, anything that you can do that gives you a sense of accomplishment, or the positive side of water, to take care of someone in a way that makes you feel good about doing it, or be taken care of in a way that's reassuring and comforting.
Suppose they have air or fire mixed in with that.
And then, yeah, of course it's also easiest to get out of it with air and fire, because they're the real antidote. Air is just being able to detach from the whole thing and examine it objectively. You see the whole overview, you see the good things as well as the bad things, and you take it lightly. The great gift of air is the ability to take it lightly and thumb the nose. Say, so what? Is it going to be important in 100 years? Then let's not worry about it. That's air. And fire gets out of it just by doing something with pure delight. Fire's just, I know what I want, I'm doing it right now. So in any event, most of these ways to get out of it are through some kind of action. And the more you deny action and just sit still and feel miserable, the deeper and deeper and deeper you get in it. And the more it becomes just like quicksand. You just go down and drown. And the anxiety disorders